So to solve the issue of time management, first of all, let's debunk the whole idea of managing time. I think that managing time is not the way to go about it, but a different perspective that I'd like to offer anybody at all is self-management. So what do I mean? There are some things in life that are constant. There are some things that are peculiar. For instance, whether or not you believe in science, gravity is something that is constant across board. So it is not a subjective thought of anyone. So it's like a an unbiased fact. So now, one of the constants that I realized about life is that life has seasons, and each individual has a unique kind of life. Because I believe that in this world that we live in, like we are all existing in the same earth, but our worlds that we live in, they are different because of the kind of environment that we live in and the kind of exposure we've had. So the way we see life, the way we even live life, even as we exist on the same earth, our lifestyle differs per individual. So the point I'm driving at essentially is that one thing out of many that you might want to consider to solve the issue of time or self-management as a whole is that time is a constant. We have 24 hours each day. It's a constant. There's nothing anybody can do about it. So whether you are rich or you are poor, it doesn't exactly matter. We have the same time in a day. So what exactly do we manage? Okay. So I think that I might even want to move it just from self-management to attention management. Because you have to first look at yourself and check that where am I in life currently? There would be a time when you were a child. There would be a time when you are or you were a toddler, then you moved on to being a teenager, an adult, and subsequently you go on like that. So I hope you get my point. My point being that um, you have to consider the peculiarity of your season. That's what I'm saying. So when you consider the peculiarity of your season, there's a way it informs the kind of way that you plan yourself. Because the truth of the matter is another constant is that whether or not we do certain things or that we plan our day, for instance, there are some things that pre-exist. You can't be a student in school and not already have a pre-existing peculiarity to your life. The school has a calendar, the school has a syllabus. So to break it down simply, check the things that within your own control, the things you want to do, and the things that other people have already planned out that now concerns you. So if you know that you have school to go to, you cannot plan against the school calendar unless you do not intend to follow it. So you have to factor it in that, oh, I'm a student currently, and this and that is what I need to do as a student. But what is the pre-existing calendar that I have no control over? So what time is left that you now have control over, so to speak, is what you will now work with. So if we want to bring it down practically to a day, for instance, now, it is quite possible that if you wake up today, you might need to go to maybe school like 7 a.m. as opposed to somebody else that is a business person that will now go to school, or sorry, go to their own place of work by 9. So if you now try to plan your day like the business owner is trying to plan their day like you a student advisor, it won't work. Do you get my point? So just a basic framework to planning your day. First thing first, I would say that you to manage you consider the kind of peculiarity of your season. Actually start with what is constant, that there's nothing that you can really do so much about. Then you now check the rest. So if all of us have 24 hours in a day, what kind of season are you in, and what kind of demand does that season place on your 24 hours and your attention? So for school now, there's a possibility that as a student, 9 to 5 is what school is demanding from you out of the 24 hours you have to pay attention to it. So if there are now other priorities in your life that requires your attention to, you will probably need to work around those other times to like channel your attention to it. But let me even use being a student as an example. There is a way you can be in your season of schooling, and it is possible that you are still having issues of planning yourself properly. So that is where priorities come in. So now, many of you might have heard of the Eisenhower matrix, or if you have not, well, that's all well and good. By the way, if you have any issues with anything I've said so far and you need clarity on it, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp 08109664164. I'd be very much interested in responding to your question. So as I was saying, as a student, you can have so many things that you want to do, but you have to still look at it from the perspective of the peculiarity of your season. If you're in exam season, it's different from when you're in lecture season. So your season contextually determines your priority too, in a way. Because the thing with priority is that there is an urgency and timeliness to it. So there are some things that it will make sense for you not to do at a certain point in time. In fact, doing stuff is not as important as doing them when they ought to be done. So that is where attention management matters. We'll never run out of things that we want to do, or that we intend to do, or that will make sense for us to do. But then it will really, I think that it will really be much more helpful for us if we're able to consider regularity of seasons. So I just thought to share this insight as it comes to mind, that this could probably help somebody out there.